Long rest goes off without a hitch. I had already rolled the random encounters before we were like, hey, let's go save Cage Guy. You keep an eye on the giants. The one begins binding up his wounds. Notably, the priest does not lift a finger to give him any healing.
Neither does Riot. We had like 13 points left over and he didn't get any of it.
That goes to Serenity.
It goes to Ciclon's badger form.
Really, fuck that giant.
You got him down to 11 hit points.
I know, but...
If you hadn't missed that one time.
Listen. At least I'm not climbing above lava.
Well, neither was Ciclon.
That was a good...
Neither was I.
Climbing above lava was the win condition.
So what's next?
It doesn't seem like we're going to get past the fire area through a low stress. So, do we want to go and try the secret out of, what's her face? Gislis?
Wait, is Gislis the priest?
Yeah, are you saying we want to go to the Drow Slavers? That doesn't sound like a good idea either.
Gislis is whoever we didn't fight up here.
Right, that was my understanding.
Yeah.
That was also my understanding.
Right. I mean, we don't have to do that. That's just my suggestion.
So we're leaving Cage Guy hanging there. Okay,
He's
cool.
kind of a... When we get to him, we get to him.
You don't actually care. You just wanted to say we leave him hanging.
I do. That was my goal in its entirety, I admit it.
And Nodal beat you to the punch, Brick Road. Are you gonna let that stand?
So what's next?
Okay.
Let's look at the map here. Well, we know the direct but dangerous way to the shrine. We know how to get just straight up to the first floor.
Well, there was another path that led us up to the to where the slave pens were. Yes.
Yeah. That way is not super far away from the shrine either.
That sounds like a much better idea than going up through the shrine.
Yeah, I agree.
So I say we head back that way.
Can you load up the other map?
Yes, sir. Here you go.
So I think that way was what?
This takes you up to the shrine over here. These double doors.
Yeah, that was it. These double doors.
Hey, is that where we're heading?
If we head over there, can someone move my piece?
That's my vote.
Yeah, that's fine.
Putting Serenity out of the way.
Where
Get-
are our pieces?
Throw
We're up
Serenity
here.
away.
Oh, there they are. Tiny.
And you push aside the doors.
Yep. Actually, no. Well, okay. Well, I mean, you just did it, so fine.
Don't let cowardice happen.
You're not a cipher. What do you want to do instead?
I was thinking we could get on either side, and Riot can use Thaumaturgy to open doors, because last time she opened the doors like this, she had a real bad
You're
time.
saying you want us to lean against the wall next to the door, like SWAT team style.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ciclon can throw the doors open with Thaumaturgy too.
You've been able to do that whole time, and you didn't do it last time? Can't believe you. Anyway.
Is Mahogany clasping his hands together like finger guns? With his back against the wall?
No, Mahogany is making like claw motions with his hands.
Mahogady's
Do it
pressed
if
up there
you
going dun 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 dun.
What's that song you're humming, Mahogany?
So, looking in the double doors after one or both of you open it with Thaumaturgy, it's a ramp leading steeply upwards.
All right, shall we? I'll take point since we don't have our.
Have we
usual
explored this
tank.
whole floor? I thought our plan was to explore all of the floor before we...
There was an opening over here, and that's
Yeah.
the only one you had reached.
Oh, wait, no, there's an X that I marked down somewhere. I remember marking this down. Was it on the other map? It might have been on the other map.
I saw an X on the other map.
I did
Yeah, I
see-
marked an
Yeah.
X on the other map because we saw a dead end, but we never went down it. So, there might be something there.
But right now you're standing here.
And I'll say, do you guys want to explore the whole floor first?
We'll be back here at some point, I'm sure.
All right.
Okay,
Alright.
let me make sure that I open up the correct map here.
Do-do-do. Do-do-do.
Somebody roll a d20.
I got it.
I'll do
I got it. No, no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no,
Alright.
no, no,
No,
no,
you got
no.
it. You got
18.
it. Yeah, you only have to say no once.
You should have saved that for a climb roll.
I know, right?
Alright, let me make sure that I get the correct
Huh.
thing deleted here.
Okay.
That looks about right.
I'm willing to believe that's a map.
Are you? That's generous. So go ahead and everybody place your markers up there.
Can we get
I
a
will
happy?
get happy out, and then I will shrink you guys down.
We all have to cast the mini spell before we can enter this dungeon.
I'm shrinking.
Pope?
So you're
Gross.
standing. It's a very steep ramp going down into the caves, connecting to this hallway. And let me describe what you can hear when you get to the top.
You hear benedictions, you see a large hat.
You hear footfalls, but again, huge cavernous space, so it's difficult to tell precisely where they're coming from. But you do hear footfalls marching somewhere in the halls on this level.
Peek
I want
around
to
the
look
corner.
at the walls here, because Illustris was saying something about the walls downstairs compared to the ones above, and I'm trying to figure out what he meant.
You probably meant that the fortress level
Mhm.
is actually worked stone. These are mortared walls. These were carved by giants or perhaps slave dwarves long ago, as opposed to the caverns underneath, which are natural caves.
Okay.
Because you're seeing nice, smooth floors and walls here. They still rise a good 60 feet over your head. And again, the halls were built for fire giants. From where you're standing, you can see the illumination of braziers along the walls over here. Just gargantuan torches affixed to the wall. Too heavy, too large for you to carry. Burning brightly. And a large set of double doors right across from you, which are... they're barred, but I forget exactly how. Bear with me a second. Looking at them, they're gargantuan iron doors, 50 feet tall, set very snugly with the wall, and you can see they roll along the ground with a gear on a track. There does not seem to be any perceptible way to open them from the outside. Looking in one direction, you see the bridge with 4 cages hanging from it, down to the lava pit below. Looking the other direction, you see several more doors off to that side, and then the pathway curves around.
Mahogany turns to his left and says, "Oh, that seems easier."
And then further this way, you see a small alcove in the wall here. There is the doors on the end, and then there's a stairway leading up at this spot here.
Okay.
Would I just roll perception to try and figure out if I can get a more precise location on where the footfalls sound like they're coming from?
Yeah, I'll let you make a perception check for that.
Alright.
Roll lift gate spin bars.
So you roll the butt.
It's 12.
There's so much echo off of these cavernous halls that it's difficult to pinpoint.
Was that him rolling for the character or for the party?
He was making an actual perception check. So what's next?
I'm going to look to see if the way across is clear. Like, just look both ways, see if anyone's coming.
Yeah, you don't see any creatures along the hallway area you can see at the moment.
How's the gate over here barred?
You can't see the mechanism that's holding it shut, but you can see the mechanism how it opens. Rather than opening outward, it would slide apart. And you can see how it's set into the ground in gears on a track that would roll aside.
Okay.
But the gears and the doors are so enormous that even with all of you together, you fail to see how you could pry them apart.
Is it like... Can you see through the bars, or is it just like a flat steel wall?
No, it is a solid iron door. You can't see through
Okay.
it. And the crack in the center between the two is seamless.
Okay.
It's set very snugly into the two walls there.
Okay.
Ciclon looks down goes over here and looks
Well,
down toward where the cages are.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's the bridge that you saw from below. Here's the wall that you tried and failed to climb here. So each of these cages...
Any dudes?
Just one, the one that you saw from below. The other 3 cages are empty. But he's dangling 10 or 15 feet below. And these 4 devices you see here are winches to winch the cages up.
And is there... And I don't see anybody coming down from this way or
Nope.
back up the hallway?
Yeah, Kelian is... As the party goes... Well, it's a map right. Kelian's looking map left. Whatever direction those might actually be.
Yeah,
just to make sure just to make sure we don't get ambushed.
Yeah, gonna keep watch while Ciclon does.
I'm gonna come with him because I feel like Ciclon might have an idea that's not what my current concern is.
Okay. And the winch is... The mechanism is built to be operated by fire giants. So, I mean, the lever of it is enormous. And just testing it out, it would take a great amount of strength to turn this lever and winch this thing up.
Is this guy conscious?
You can't tell from here. Just looking down, you just see the shape of this form. A red-skinned man wearing rags.
Can you... Also, I'm going to attempt to move it myself.
Make a strength check. DC is 25.
I cannot make that.
You can roll a nat 20.
He doesn't have a +5 to his strength.
Oh, nat 20 won't auto-succeed?
Nope, only on it to hit roll.
Yeah, I can't even make that. So yeah, Ciclon tries and fails at that and says, "Know anything stronger? Can you turn anything stronger up in your head?"
Yeah, Mahogany thinks for a second. By which I mean I'm looking through the monster manual to see if there's anything higher than a 20.
Yeah.
I don't think the kinds of animals and beasts you can turn into have that kind of strength.
Because
they absolutely do. Like polar bear is exactly 20, but I would have to roll a 20 to
what you could do is I could aid you in that, and we'd be able to get an advantage on that.
Also, a polar bear does not have opposable thumbs and cannot work the winch.
Oh, it's a winch? I thought I was going to literally lift the chain.
That would probably not be possible, no. You don't have the leverage on this bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to operate this lever, which a polar bear can't do. A gorilla would be able to, or something like that.
It doesn't have the strength.
Well, we could probably dimension door from here, right? Won't have to worry about...
He's only about not quite 15 feet below you, dangling there, but you can also see there's enough chain winched up on this mechanism that you could lower him all the way down into the lava.
I've got another idea. Let me get out the old Don John and check exactly the wording on this spell. How heavy is that cage?
Tons. It's a cage basically built to hold a fire giant prisoner.
Okay.
So the chain is strong enough to hold the weight of a fire giant and the cage big enough to hold a fire giant. The material is dense enough to not be able to be broken from the inside by a giant. I mean, there's nothing in that PHB that can lift it.
Okay.
Even Serenity on a good day. So what's next?
We could try the teleportation trick, like Riot suggested.
I am not going to try that until we are ready to rest. Because I don't want to be without spell if things go south.
Okay.
Ciclon does not look happy, but will acquiesce.
No happy looks happy.
The joke is endless.
It's great. It's my favorite.
It's like the best part about it is that it's not like a joke, like a traditional joke.
It's a joke. It's a joke spelled Joque. So what's next?
I don't know why I found that so funny.
I guess we'll just motion for everybody to come along and keep going up this way, I suppose.
That way, I don't think we want to go yet.
Why? Oh yeah, that's right. That's to the temple of
That's
of
the
evil
temple.
drow.
Yeah. We already kind of know what's over there.
All right then.
I'm still
Back-
looking at this
back
winch,
here.
trying to think if I could think of something.
Pat Mahogany on the shoulder says, "Hey, we're not gonna get anywhere with this. We need to go."
Looking, Mahogany, make an investigation check.
Alright. I think that's going to be 11. Yeah, I have a +0.
The chain holding this cage to the mechanism is a fire giant chain, which is big enough to be used by you guys as a ladder. The difficulty, of course, being if you fall from this ladder,
Shit.
the fall damage alone would be considerable, and you're
Alright.
falling into nothing good.
I have a plan.
Are we going to invert plan from downstairs?
Okay, so we think the cage might be locked, right?
Well, unless there's nowhere to go except down into the lava.
It most likely is, but the creature being held inside is not a giant. So, theoretically, he could be able to just walk through the bars.
And again, I say it's like going through the bars is getting you nowhere good.
Wait,
Well-
the creature can walk through the bars?
Yeah, the creature inside this cage is not a giant.
What I can do is I can turn into a spider, web myself on the bottom of me such that I'm very sticky there,
Mm-hmm.
and if he's willing to stick himself to me, I can just climb up this chain without even a climbing check. Because I
Or-
just stick to it.
Or I could stick to you. Pull him out of there.
Is that what you're doing?
That is a way better plan than what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mahogany
Remember,
spiderizes.
all my good plans involve me climbing on things or someone else.
You climb down this chain,
How,
the top of the
how
cage.
far away from us is he?
not more than about 15 feet.
Okay, then if he doesn't want to get on you, I can suggest that he does.
And perched at the top of this cage, getting a better look down inside, the creature inside is a fire genasi. And he looks emaciated. And in fact, for a moment you think it's a corpse, but then you see the very faint fall of his chest. Currently is unconscious. His hand is lashed to the bottom of the cage with 3 heavy iron bands, and you can see blood seeping from the wounds on each of these bands. So his forearm has 3 iron straps bolted down to the bottom of the cage to keep him from slipping through the bars.
Okay, so we're gonna need some way of removing those iron bars.
And these, they don't have a keyhole or anything. They look like they had some kind of tool to bolt them in place.
So I'll climb back up
Okay.
and then like kind of tap on Riot.
Yeah, and I say, what's the score? What's the situation?
You say that,
Yeah.
and I kind of tap on Riot again.
Oh yeah. So I message you that.
All right. All right, and then I'm able to reply back and explain everything that's down there. I'm gonna say we need some way to get rid of that metal.
What does Mahogany's voice sound like as a spider?
Oh, it sounds the exact same. So that's the really creepy part, is that it always sounds the exact same, even when it's coming from like an animal messenger. So it's just this kind of like deep, watery voice.
Okay. Riot says, I can undo that from here, but it's gonna be real loud.
And I respond back. I don't think it's locked is the problem. I think it's welded.
It didn't look welded, it looked bolted.
Yeah, and that's
All right, so
that's
wouldn't-
different.
So this is just like a judgment call that we would probably know the answer to. Would a knock spell unbolt something like that?
The wording of the knock spell, the object can be a door, box, chest, set of manacles, a padlock, or another object.
Riot, make a wisdom check.
Okay.
Make that wisdom arcana if you're trained in arcana.
I have a +1 in arcana.
So the answer is no then.
Yeah.
Well, don't use intelligence arcana. Use wisdom arcana.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So if you're not trained, just don't add your proficiency bonus. It's just a wisdom check.
Yeah, I'm not.
Why is this a member of the party?
Ooh.
That would be a 20.
A 20. You have never personally used knock to open a device like this. But you're relatively sure, with about 80 or 90% certainty, that the magic of the spell doesn't work on the mechanism itself. It works on the intention that puts the mechanism in place. It doesn't matter if it's a bolt or a key. What matters is that somebody was trying to keep it closed.
Yeah. So yeah, I tell the others, I'm pretty sure it'll work. That's not the problem. The problem is the loud booming noise you may all remember from when I used this in the barracks.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just, Matt, whether or not we think rescuing this guy at this moment is worth our stealth.
And Mahogany, having been close enough to him now, seeing the state he was in, if you don't rescue him now, it looks like he doesn't have long left.
I actually have an idea for that as well.
Okay.
Which is, and I'll tell this to Riot, if we don't rescue him, what I think we should do is someone gives me a good berry. We wake him up, tell him what's going on, and I give him a good berry.
Ciclon
and that's
fishes out
literally
3.
the safest possible way to provide him with nutrition. Because he can't get sick on it, it provides him with exactly what he needs to survive for a day.
Ciclon. Okay.
Okay.
That was my original plan, when I'm like, I don't think Ciclon has the same plan as I do. I'm like, Ciclon's going to try to give this guy water, he's going to vomit, and he's going to die.
So what's next?
Well, that was just between Mahogany and Riot at this point, so Riot's got the info.
I think the plan... This is less resource intensive, but it's much more dangerous for us. I like the plan that we were doing before, even though that didn't work out so well before. I want to try that again later on.
So maybe just give him a good berry and a piece of paper that says, eat this on it. Or do we want to wake him up and give it to him?
Can we see the latch from our perch on the upper level here? Or does it something
You
we
can
have to
see the
climb
lock
down
on
and
the
see?
outside of the cage, but the lock on the outside of the cages was not keeping him there.
Yeah, I mean the
Oh,
the
no, you
bolted
can't.
brace.
Mahogany saw it because he climbed down to the top of the cage and was able to look down into the middle of it.
Or
Okay.
what we could do is just do it now and make a break for it. But that's probably the worst idea of all of them.
Yeah.
I think that...
Hold on, let me look something up.
Alright, while you're looking that up, as it stands right now, I think our current best plan is to get him a good berry so that he'll at least survive. And call that
Maybe we should give him a couple, tell them to ration these out.
They only survive for a
Help us
day.
coming.
Okay, I'm gonna message this guy
They literally only last for 24 hours.
and say, the spider coming down has a good berry for you. Eat it and you'll live long enough for us to rescue you later.
Bear with me 1 second.
Does that spell bypass language barriers?
It does.
Okay.
Good
That's
berry.
the reason.
It
that's the
does.
reason
What
I'm
I'm looking
casting
up is whether or not it will target him even if he's unconscious.
Okay. I'm assuming the crowbar in my burglar's pack can't pry this manacle open.
It could, but it would take a considerable amount of strength. Because we're talking a bolt that was put in place with a fire giant tool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you very well.
Serenity was
And keep in mind, you don't have to break it off. You just got to make it loose enough that he can
Loose
wiggle
enough
his
that
arm
he
out.
can Wiggle his arm out.
So that is a possibility, but it would be tricky for Kelian to do, because I don't think Kelian has a lot of strength.
Kelian doesn't have strength, but he's got the crowbar from his burglar's kit. That's what I was looking up. So if Ciclon wants to stick himself to Mahogany, I guess, and then try to pry the manacle
that sounds
open.
like a good idea.
Let's hold that for a moment. Riot, my ruling on message against sleeping or unconscious targets, because the spell doesn't say it doesn't work, but the target is going to respond as though it's like a dream state. He's not conscious. He can't see what's going on. He's not alert. So I'll let the message get through.
I didn't realize that because I don't think Mahogany told me that.
The only thing I said out of character to you was that I repeated everything I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the man's unconscious, and you can get the message through, but his response may be completely incoherent.
Depending on whether or not Ciclon would have 1 or 2 hands available, there's also a hammer. So I have a crowbar and a hammer.
And that's going to make a lot of noise.
It will, but it would be a useful tool. Based on what Mahogany saw, with some work, with some elbow grease and a little strength, you might be able to make enough of a gap to wriggle his arm free.
But then one of us would have to go down there who wasn't a spider.
Yeah, that's...
The knock plan I can do from up here.
Just saying, you could also just take his arm off at the shoulder.
Yeah, that's...
Because, so...
Don't think I hadn't considered that. I just wasn't saying out loud because Ciclon was standing right there.
No, I literally also thought the same thing, and I thought in a couple levels I'll have regenerate, right?
Also have 1,000 Barbarian, but...
That's really not going to help in this situation.
Yeah.
Well, it might if, like, fire giants come running down the hallway at you.
If we need to wake him up, I could hit him with the Barbarian, no problem.
So what is the plan? Let's go ahead and get an action on. We've discussed all the options. Which of the options sounds best?
I think the worst possible idea is knock. I think there's no way we're going to be able to do that.
I think we need to...
I agree with July. I haven't just done it.
I think maybe we could reach down there and feed him a good berry. And
then, I could stick my spider hand down his throat.
So you're going to just write him a note in what language?
I'm also going to do the message just to see what kind of response I get, because this should be entertaining.
I mean, common, unless no one actually speaks. Giant.
I do. I speak Primordial, and he's a Genasi. He'd be able to read whatever I wrote.
The response to the message... Well, what's the message? You tell him to eat the berry and stay alive until we're able to rescue you?
Yeah.
The message is a question. And the question is, were you sent by the center of the great solid heart?
No, we destroyed the heart. Sold it to an... Well... Sorry,
You destroyed the fire sack. That wasn't a heart.
Riot's not repeating that anyway.
So Mahogany's going to climb down and leave a note in a Goodberry, and you're writing the note in Primordial, yes?
Yeah, I can at least coach Riot through making a shittily drawn Primordial short message.
Make an intelligence check, both of you.
Okay.
It looks like something a kid.
I'm thinking 5. Yeah, I'm thinking 5 letters is about as good as we can do.
Well, in Primordial, it's actually 23 letters. It's not a very efficient language.
So I got a 13.
I got 6.
Primordial has 6 kinds of kanji. It's bad.
Oh God.
So wait, which one was this here?
That's Mahogany's 6.
That was your That's your 6, and Riot got this 12.
This 13. Yeah.
Okay. And it doesn't look quite right to you, Mahogany, when she writes it out, but you're pretty sure that's her fault because you explained it perfectly.
Right.
But you can read it, and that makes you think that anybody could read it, unless they're not meant to read it.
Right.
So you take the note with a good berry, you leave it in the cage below, and you spider climb back up to the bridge. The footfalls are now noticeably closer, over around this corner.
Oh, I might be able to do something about that as well.
So what's next?
What are you gonna do, Nodal?
Yeah, forget it. It's not worth worrying about.
Kelian makes a hand gesture to get everyone around the corner.
Okay.
And I imagine we want to keep going while that's happening.
Mhm.
We need to keep going.
We at least want to duck around the corner.
Yeah. No, stop it.
You're wrong. There's not that many.
And you see a fire giant patrolling around the corner with his greatsword, starting to come down the
Fire
hallway.
giant.
A fire giant. He will definitely see you guys if you're all in that ramp.
Yeah, let's go down.
Head down the ramp.
And you hear him. You hear his footsteps march down the hallway. You hear a series of loud pounds on the great iron doors. And you hear speech in Giant, his great bellowing voice. Then you hear the sound of grinding as the gears move and the doors open slightly. And a little bit more speech. You can't hear who he's talking to. Whoever he's talking to does not have the great bellowing giant voice that he has. But then the grinding continues, and you hear the iron doors come together and close, and you hear him march off in the direction of the bridge.
Can I? I'm gonna make a. I want to move back up the ramp quietly.
Make a hide check, or stealth check. Not a hide check. That doesn't make sense. You're not trying to hide your feet.
That is a 21.
Okay. Now, this movement is silent, but there's nowhere to hide in this hallway. There's nowhere to not be seen by this giant if he turns to look down this hallway. If his patrol takes him down this way, there's nowhere for you to duck behind. But you can get there without being heard.
Well, the idea is I'm trying to Metal Gear corner view, peek around the hallway.
Yeah, and how many times have you done that corner view and gotten alert?
Exactly.
Because it happens to me every time I play that game. So where are you going to?
That right there for now.
If you move beyond this point, you're now casting shadows on the walls.
Okay.
Because of these two heavy braziers.
I remember that part of Metal Gear Solid 2.
And from that point, you hear the footfalls echoing down to the end of the hallway, and then turning around and start to come back.
Okay, then. I will back off again quietly, back to the others.
Okay. And after a few...
Basically, what I was wanting to make sure was that he wasn't going to stop to try and fuck with this guy in the cage.
No, he doesn't seem to pay any regard to the cage at all. But after a few moments, you guys hear the footfalls get very loud again, and then disappear down the hallway. And then after another 30, 40 seconds, his footfalls never vanish entirely, but they get to the point where they sound like they're very far away again. They're just echoey part of the cavernous expanse of this floor.
Okay.
Alright.
Let's
Gotta
go.
make
Let's
a
out a
move
little
somewhere.
bit of
Yeah.
let's out a little breath of relief. Once he hears that, hears this guy go past the.
It seems like either someone behind this door is controlling the device, which means there's more things behind this door, or there's someone somewhere with greater control over all of the doors.
Well, I mean, we don't
Yeah.
need to explore this floor yet.
Hold on.
Where else would we go?
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a bunch of stuff downstairs that we haven't checked out that doesn't have fire giants patrolling it.
You're right about that.
But you know we have to come here eventually anyway, right?
We could find a better staircase.
I don't think we're gonna find a better one.
Riot consults the map briefly.
I don't think we're gonna find a better one. We have to make a decision. We have to make it now. Cypher.
I know,
Plus one
like,
snaps.
I'm the one like, no, this isn't the right time for this. Mahogy's like, nope, gotta go.
So what's next?
I think we should go as far. We should at least like take a look around this corner.
All right, who's brave enough to do that?
I mean, if we gotta do it, I'm gonna do it because I probably have
That is
easiest
further
way
than
of
60
getting
feet
right
away.
now. We're gonna do it in groups.
Okay.
How high is the wall here?
How high is the wall? I mean, it goes up a good 50, 60 feet.
It goes up to the ceiling.
All right. Well, nobody looks up, so I could be 50 feet up, still be within 60 feet of you guys, and have a much better view.
Okay.
But
Roll a
then
whiz
we
10.
We would have to be right below you, though.
Yeah.
And
Roll,
then
roll a whiz 10.
I think I'm pointing out the thing that you're going to give him with the whiz 10. But
12.
The man patrolling these halls has an eye line 3 times taller than you.
Right. He's 17 feet up. I'm going 50.
Kelian is making sure that, again, we don't get the jump, so he's looking behind
I'm
us.
just
Also, but
thinking like normal
we would have to be-
ceilings.
if you're 50 feet up, we have to be right beneath you, and then no
Yeah.
advantage is gained.
Well, the advantage is that I have a much better line of sight.
So what are you guys doing?
I don't know. I don't think this is as bad as a plan as Brickroad clearly does. Like, it's
I think
normal
it's a
ceilings
bad
are
plan.
10 feet and people don't see them.
I think it's a bad plan.
Right?
Yeah, but no one cares what you
out there.
think.
Right also thinks it's a bad plan.
Kelian also thinks it's bad.
So you're going to
I wanna-
spider your way up to the ceiling, and everybody else is going to have to be directly beneath you as you move.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's a bad plan.
I'm not sure what you being
You're
on the
right.
ceiling...
I have a better plan.
Okay.
And without saying anything, I web Ciclon to connect him to me,
Okay.
Elsie
and then
Clone
I
starts
climb up the
resisting.
wall, dangling him up from below me.
Elsie Clone starts resisting because he has no idea what the fuck you're doing.
Well, your only resistance you need to unweb.
Yeah, which is...
So feel free to drop off this wall, no problem.
Yeah, Elsie Clone, make a...
Well, you have to make the hit check for the webbing, I think.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a to hit roll.
Yeah, so hit my 15 EC.
Done.
Fuck off. Alright, what's the DC to break? Before you start climbing?
That's in strength athletics check. It's a grapple, basically.
Well, if I had to make it to hit roll, I should be able to make my full movement first. Anyways,
Yeah,
that's not
that
going to hit
seems-
it.
That seems reasonable.
I put this
9.
connection between you, and I don't know how to break it now, so it's just there.
Either way, that's not going to break it. So I climb up the wall, and now he's within 60 feet of you guys.
Oh, so he's a pendulum.
He's a
Yeah.
pendulum.
That'll be great for the fire giant.
Elsie Clone is grumpy.
Happy is
Elsie Clone
amused.
is very grumpy.
So what's next? Where are we going?
Kelian is still looking behind
I'm
us
going to
to
climb
make
over
sure.
here and just check this out, because I can get here with one movement.
But everybody can't follow you with one movement.
Yeah.
Right, but Riot doesn't have to be right beneath me now. That was the benefit that was gained from this.
I'm not sure
she
I
can be
understand
further
what
back.
you're trying to accomplish. I'm not.
So
I want to make. I don't want to make a ruling based on something I don't really understand.
So-
nobody else talk.
Okay.
Nodal, no double speak, no jokes. Just tell me what you're doing.
All right, I'm on the ceiling, right?
Okay.
He's dangling in the air.
Okay.
So he could get seen, but then I'm reasonably sure I could run and like get him away, and then he could still make his movement. So basically, like, we're in a situation where before, if I was seen, it was really bad, and they were going to be able to get back to us. Here, if I'm seen, he's still going to be able to get away, no problem, and I'm on the roof.
But what I'm looking at is I'm seeing you 50 feet on the ceiling, and Happy and Kelian are way behind you. So is the intention to break the circle of rings?
No, because he's dangling from me.
How
So he's
far?
closer to the ground.
Also, you said we could daisy chain it.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So how far do you go on the ceiling?
Like, I want to be here.
You want to be here. Okay, roll initiative.
I just want to be able to see.
So Keelan's gonna spend his fight.
I
So
wanted.
wait,
I was
so
just
the
double
thing- so
checking.
he got to see us before we saw him.
Yes, he
Because
did.
like, he's not on the map. I don't see him.
Roll initiative.
All right.
And
I'm
don't
just saying-
argue, or I will spank you with a tennis racket.
I
I own 2 tennis rackets. One of them is pink.
Is that your spanking racket?
That's my spank. No, it's Peanut's spanking racket.
Then you don't really.
Really own 2 tennis rackets.
That's true. I don't. Well, she's not home, so I can use hers. It's fine.
Also, you're married, so shared property.
You don't really know how marriage works, do you?
I really don't. I don't.
All right.
I'm a single gay man, and I don't care.
Riot.
Mm-hmm.
What's your
12.
initiative? 12. Kelian.
20.
20. Elsie Clone.
15.
15.
Yeah.
And Mahogany.
Pendulum.
16.
And what about Happy?
Happy's on a 17.
Okay. Now I need to make a quick ruling on some tangentially unrelated task, which involves opening the monster manual.
Now I want to say for the record, McDohl, other McDohl, and Nich all thought this is a bad idea.
Okay, here's the situation. Elsie Clone, you are restrained. This
I
webbing.
am.
You failed to break it. The only reasonable action you can take is to break the webbing, at which point you will drop 20 feet to the ground.
I'm not too worried about that, but okay.
Okay. Mahogany, you skittering along the ceiling, you stop in this position, and Elsie Clone swings into the hallway with the momentum of this pendulum. Here's what Elsie Clone sees in the brief moment. You're looking down the length of this hallway. Actually, let me double check, make sure I can give you this too. Looking down the length of this hallway, you see several other paths off to the side. Another set of double iron doors here that resemble the ones from here. A ramp leading upward. Not particularly steeply, but at the far end, you do see the fire giant coming back from his patrol, and he sees you swinging out on this pendulum, and then you swing back just in time to see him start bolting down the hallway.
We got incoming.
So I need to figure out how to get rid of this. I thought it would be a good idea to bind you two together, but I don't think I can actually undo it.
I think you just did undo it.
Did I? No.
Do you not just draw the link joint between them
Yeah,
again?
you just draw the joint again.
That's what I did.
Well, have you done that before? Like,
Yes.
maybe rejoined us.
There, did that do it? No?
No?
Should I try it again?
It was a bad
No,
call,
let me-
Bertrand.
I'm not a smart man. What do you want from me?
This was a bad call.
We'll deal with it once
How-
he gets on chain.
It's pretty
How
funny.
about delete?
There might be
Myself.
like a toggle on like sticky or something.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
was
what I was
looking at.
looking for.
Lock, grid, snap.
But delete me and recreate me.
I would never delete you and recreate you. You might come back as something horrible.
I know, right?
I have a whole joint menu here. Anyway, that's what you see, Elsie Clone, having swung out and swinging back. I can just load in new Elsie Clone. That'd be fine. Kelian, you have the first action. Here's what you see from your position. You see Mahogany skitter out to that position. Elsie Clone on 20 feet of webbing swings out into the hallway. He looks horrified for a moment, and then the footfalls get much, much faster as Elsie Clone starts swinging back.
And I'm so far back.
So, Elsie Clone is 20 feet from Mahogany. Elsie Clone is about 30 feet from the ground, which means about 30 feet from Riot, and then from there we got the daisy chain just fine, it looks like.
Can you use a cunning action to move?
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Yeah. So I'm gonna do move 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Cutting action 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And the fire giant is down the hallway here.
That's
He's
quite a
right
ways
there.
away.
What is my range?
See, I
About
was gonna say
100
we should
feet.
just leave because no one would ever.
It's Kelian's turn. Let him talk.
And I'm gonna shoot him and use the command word.
Okay. Roll to hit.
And I get this at advantage because this is I acted before him. So
Because why?
You acted before him.
Yes,
I
yes,
acted before
true.
the fire giant.
Very
But
true.
That didn't really help anyway. 18.
18 hits.
Cool. Don't get sneak attack damage though. I really feel like I should. Well, no, I get advantage. I do get sneak attack damage, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
Oh god.
What?
I spawned in a new Ciclone and Mahogany.
What's some other stuff?
you sure did.
Well, it's all saved together. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
it's fine. Okay, I'll shrink you back down.
It's actually.
I'm gonna make you slightly
36,
smaller so you
10,
feel less manly.
21, 29 damage.
29 damage.
And you said you spoke the command word?
Yeah.
He did. So you want to go ahead and draw the radius of darkness? Well, you're not on Mechanos, so it's a circle, but, I mean, that's okay too.
There. Now it's a square and a circle.
That's
Yeah.
not, it's neither of those things. I don't know what you're doing. Like, that looks like a hairline. What do you... is Kelian staying put in that position?
He's gonna use the rest of his movement right around the corner. That's all he's got left.
Okay. Fire Giant's gonna double move.
I was hoping the cloud would disorient him.
He just ran out of it.
Boo. But now he doesn't see me, right?
He knows where you are. You're not hidden.
Yeah, but
And his footfalls are resounding against the floor like crazy. Any worry about making noise at the bridge?
Yeah.
Happy's turn.
Happy is he's itching for a fight. Right up in here.
Okay.
But ready to crack some and he's gonna take a dodge action. But once Fire Giant comes around the corner, he's gonna be going for the balls. So yeah.
Okay. So he's dodging. Mahogany, you're up.
How long has it been since we were over here?
A matter of seconds. I mean, you skittered along the ceiling with a pretty swift move speed, so it was only a few moments.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't wait until Brickroad tells the story to his Saturday game about how Ciclon was on the pendulum.
No, I don't get to see any of them until next Sunday because they're going to help me move. But the
But
pendulum
then you're
story
gonna
is pretty
see
good.
all of them.
No, because two of them are weaseling out of helping me move by being out of town, the jerks. If anybody need to move, what you need to do is ask people who are new parents, because they will do anything to get away from their children. It's like, help you move? Sure, we'll get a babysitter. No problem. When do you need us?
Hey, McLean.
I'm gonna remove the web from Ciclon and drop it.
And drop him. Okay, Ciclon, you fall
I'm
20
going
feet
to-
to the ground.
Pop a reaction to slow my fall.
Okay.
And I'm going to head over. I'm down on the wall.
You gonna give me some? You gonna give me some fall damage?
Not if you use your reaction to slow fall.
Okay, I mean, I don't know how much damage it's gonna do, and I get like 5 times my monk level.
It's 20 feet. It's like basically zero.
Yeah, it would just negate the
then.
damage. You'd be fine.
Ciclon text the landing.
Is he still grumpy?
Yes, he's still very grumpy.
And what is the rest of your turn, Mahogany?
I don't really have one.
Okay. Elsie Clone.
Butts up against this wall and takes his a dodge action as well.
And Riot.
Riot's got not. I don't have any spells that work at this range. Riot's just gonna like
move over here, and what do I see?
This thing in the hallway here is not actually here. You see the double iron doors here. You see a very angry fire giant running down. This ramp goes up this hallway, turns this corner, set of double doors at this corner, and strong illumination from this area here. It's an open area. Looks like a forge.
Okay.
Just over a pool of lava.
All right. Then Riot ducks back behind the wall.
Okay. Kelian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's fine.
Same thing.
Bang, bang.
Don't get advantage this time, though.
You do not.
That's not gonna hit, I don't think. 17?
No, the bolt shatters against the wall.
Command word.
Speak the command word again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna draw an even worse circle now.
Is this a challenge?
Yes.
What?
I don't. Okay.
That was on purpose.
No, I started laughing. I started laughing. Cunning action or remaining move to get over here.
Okay.
You said the. Okay. Yeah.
He's going to continue burying down the hallway. So you actually can't. Actually, Riot, you couldn't. You could at the moment, but now you can't see beyond the darkness in the hallway. There's no way to see through it.
Yeah.
It's just black. It's going to bring us to Happy.
Happy is going to ready in action here, and he's gonna love tap. He's gonna love tap the giant once he rounds the corner.
Okay. Mahogany.
All right, I have an idea.
Oh god.
I'm excited for this idea.
All right, I'm gonna make my way over here, like
Mhm.
on this wall, and then when the giant gets within range, I'm going to web his legs together while he's running, such that he falls down prone on his stupid face.
Has your web recharged yet?
Yes, I just recharged it.
Okay.
That's what that 6 is over there.
So.
So I'll move myself over, like kind of.
So your intention is not to snare him using a web like normal. Your intention is to knock him prone. Is that what I'm
Yeah,
hearing?
I mean it's still gonna snare his legs together. Like he's not gonna be able to undo it without doing the strength check. It's just my goal is to do it while he's running so that he falls prone.
There is zero possibility whatsoever of getting this giant restrained. But knocking him prone is probably possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good. And so you're going to hold an action there.
Mhm.
Okay. So you're going to try to knock him prone when he comes up to this spot so you have line of sight on him.
Yeah. Once I yeah.
Okay. It's going to bring us to Ciclon.
Ciclon is going to move right here and dodge.
Move right there and dodge. Riot.
Okay. Now that he's in range of a good vicious mockery.
Ah. That is a wisdom save, yes?
It is.
Does a 7 do it?
Nah, 7's not gonna do it.
Okay.
Way better than that.
He takes 5 psychic damage and has disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay. I did forget to repaste my fire giant, so for some reason he still had 11 hit points. But this is a different fire giant, so let me fix that.
And the insult is, any minute now, any minute you want to start this fight.
And he has disadvantage on his next attack.
Yeah.
And then are you staying in the hallway right there?
No, I'm gonna tuck back.
Probably a good idea to get behind Ciclon.
Yeah.
So then you call him out for being a chicken, and then you immediately retreat.
Yep.
I like Riot style. Kelian, what's up?
No command word this time. Just gonna shoot him. I'm gonna shoot this fool. I'm gonna shoot him good.
Roll it.
Use your violence on him.
Use your best violence. That's some pretty good violence.
Use your best violence.
If only he could get the sneak attack.
If only.
If only.
That's still pretty good damage, though.
Yeah, that's 23 damage.
That's pretty comparable to the sneak attack there.
And you put the bolt right in between his eyes, and his face just explodes into reams of blood. He's not happy about that.
Well, no,
Now-
happens
Over here.
Yeah,
Right.
Happy's right here.
The jocks are back. Kelian, moving or staying put?
Free action to taunt him. And then